the last video I made yesterday, I was just starting chapter 1. Way back here. But I've just ploughed full steam ahead, riveted by my own book. It's a whole new experience, and I'm astounded at the quality of the writing as a first attempt, and I have only come upon 2 very minor errors in the text, and so I have to congratulate myself for my arduous editing and ensuring that I have a very readable book, bearing in mind the very complex esoteric subject matter that I'm broaching. And so just to highlight those past 12 chapters would be quite a task, and so what I'm going to do on this occasion, I'm just going to read the introduction, the first couple of pages to chapter 13. Now, for those of you that are reading the book, it really kicks in about chapter 9. It gets very esoteric and bizarre after chapter 9, and chapter 13 is really kicking in. And so the title, the beginning of this particular chapter, states how our unconscious will guides us towards the purity of God. In this chapter, I will convey my thoughts on the notion of the existence of a higher being, be it a God, cosmic spirit, higher self, or deep-rooted intuitive state of consciousness, which gives us a notion of oneness with something higher. I will be speaking, as always, from the only place I can feasibly convey any real knowledge of the self, that of my subjective experience. Albeit entirely inadequate for the job, it's the only tool I'm endowed with to address this task. From the offset, this subject of seeking self-knowledge is riddled with haunting notions of defeat due to the inadequate collection of tools we have been issued with as humans. Our cognitive toolbag offers no more than a broad array of elusive concepts, a myriad of deeply flawed perspectives, innumerable unfounded biases, and an eternity of human indoctrination channeled into a realm of mental fiction. An intelligent person with better things to do wouldn't waste their time on such a profitless task. Too late now, you've already bought the book. Actually, some of you haven't bought the book. I'm speaking of the magnitude of our task when we try to discern what actually is going on here. It's an unfathomable mystery. An intelligent person with better things to do wouldn't waste their time on such a profitless task. After all, at the end of the day, via all my labour, I will fail to convince a single one of my readers of the veracity of anything that I espouse. Least of all will I convince myself. Like all philosophical musings, this subject matter is at the mercy of the shape-shifting genius we call the paradoxical cosmos. Make no bones about it, the cosmos is beyond human comprehension. I consider it a monolithic absurdity even to begin speculating that we could ever comprehend such a vast intelligence. Human beings are not cognitively designed to know the true nature of God, consciousness, or the cosmos. The Bible states that human life is vanity and striving for the wind. That about sums it up. Sure, we can get rockets outside Earth's atmosphere and create hypothetical scientific equations that impress the ill-informed. However, exercising our audacity and claiming that we could ever know the cosmos is illusory at best and egotistically absurd. With that being said, what else is there for us to do save for passionately participating in the play? As a species, we at least have to try to know these things. Throughout this chapter, I will convey why my unconscious will has brought my body and soul to where they are today. Why it is that I feel that I have travelled this path, this spiritual path, acquiring along the way a level of consciousness, awareness, that convinces me that the cosmos is a beautiful, unfathomable illusion. If there is anything I feel worthy of my devotion within this spiritual manifested dream, it is to exercise my passion for playing my part in the play. The illusion of life. After all, human passion is at the root of all of our achievements. Paradoxically, belief in the illusion is what is required to manifest Maya. The Hindus have long considered human existence to be Maya. Just over 100 years ago, quantum physicists confirmed that 2,000-year-old Hindu knowledge. Belief is the glue that holds our human experience together. Take belief out of the cosmic equation and there would be a dark, infinite void of cosmic consciousness, bereft of any dream to dream. Our belief creates our reality and exponentially expands the scope of the dream we can experience. The more we believe in our existence, the more we can create. Let us now look at how this manifests. Belief is an exceedingly powerful tool, powerful enough to collectively manifest our known cosmos, and certainly powerful enough to create our subjective world. Here I will convey my former delusion in the human body from a much younger and naive perspective. And then the next heading is the benefits of belief. Having wholehearted belief in our human existence bonds our ego fast to the earthly excursion. Some of you may be sufficiently intrigued by that to want to partake in my spiritual sojourn of the past 14 years. I'm not even halfway through, and already I have addressed a whole myriad of subjects, which are subject matter that just very rarely gets broached by the human being. They don't think of such things, but philosophers have thought of some of these things, spiritualists have thought of some of these things, and what I know from reading a good array of varying subject matter across the spectrum of psychology, philosophy, spirituality, mythology, spirituality, the supernatural, the paranormal, all those sort of things. I've brought all of those together in one book, and it's an astounding feat, to be fair, and it has taken 14 years, and so if we look at that period stretched over the globe, the amount of travel I've launched upon and the experiences that I have encountered, then, well, it's my spiritual autobiography. It's the, well, many paths conjoined into one, and I've spoken about those paths in a previous video. So there you have it. I'm going to continue. It's well, to be fair, it's the only book that has got me riveted to it, to the point whereby I can almost not put it down. And it is like reading it afresh, because all of the times I read it, I was looking for errors, and I wasn't concentrating per se on the broader picture. I was being analytical to ensure that each chapter and verse made sense, and whether I was using the right grammar and you know, suitable words and all those sort of things, and whether I was really speaking from my heart. I had to ask myself on a constant basis, is that really what you think? Is that really what you feel? And this is a true depiction of my heart, soul and consciousness. Unconscious and everyday consciousness. It's a conglomerate of all those things, with the greatest of truth which pertains to such illusory concepts, notions, fictions of what it is to be a human being. At the end of the day, the more we investigate each one of these paths, we always end up in the abyss. And it is both disconcerting, bewildering and genius to know that every time we look for the root of what this thing is, we will never find it. It's absolutely genius. Vastly beyond the cognitive facility of human beings in any case. It really is a riddle wrapped in a mystery inside an enigma. So, those of you that have bought the book, well, let me know how you find this stuff. And those of you who haven't, gotta say, you know, without being, you know, haughty and, you know, dismissive, it's your loss. It's $26 or pounds. Come on, people.